Okay. Everybody begin lying on your mat. Get comfy. Take the movements that you need to take in order to find a place where you can be a bit relaxed. Even relax through your eyes. Close your eyelids. If that's too vulnerable, then leave them open. Still maintain awareness. And then become aware more of your physical body. Take a scan from the tips of your toes, running up your legs and your torso, your arms, back, chest, head. Just noticing kind of a cursory glance, and then take that same sweep from top to toes. And then dive in a little bit deeper. Once again, starting from the bottom, moving all the way up. Paying a little closer attention to temperature, to looseness, to tightness, to warmth, to cool. Are there any emotions that come up when you're doing that? You don't need to grasp them. You can simply know that they're there. It's not a time to be critical. It's a time to be a witness. And then once you finish that scan to the crown of your head, then begin the same thing on the way down. And this time, if there are any of those parts that bring up something that is a feeling that you'd like to leave behind, then start to leave it behind. There's a feeling that might feel physically uncomfortable. Perhaps start to leave that behind. If it's something that's important to you that you're holding on to, don't worry, it'll be there for you later. And then send that same kind of awareness to your breath. You might notice that simply through the act of focusing on your physical body, your breath has changed a bit. Maybe yes, maybe no. Find that same kind of spaciousness that you have started to offer to your physical body. The same kind of soft, compassionate feelings toward it. And then take that work further in. Notice the quality and the color and the pattern of your thoughts that are showing up. You don't need to reject any. You don't need to embrace any. You don't need to do anything except for to notice. And I'd like you to set a dedication or intention for this practice, something that you might have been working on for a while, something that might be new. And if being aware and cognizant of these feelings, physical, breath, thought, if that's something that's tough to just be aware of, then maybe that is your dedication, simply to be with them, without attachment. And then together as a community, let's seal these dedications that we've each set. Take a really deep breath in, fill up, feel as though the breath could go down to your hips or even through your legs, through your shoulders. Hold at the very top of that breath for just a moment, and then on an exhale, let it go all the way down till it feels like there might be nothing. And then recognize that, and then take another very full, deep breath in, maybe more full than the one before. Pause at the peak of that breath, and then exhale, release it. Softly empty. And then again, for yourself, Full breath in, full exhale. And then gently draw both knees in towards your chest. Take your hands to your kneecaps and then roll a little around from side to side. Just start to get a little bit of movement. Maybe wave your ankles in front of each other, or you can move your knees with each other, with the insides of your knees touching as you rotate to the right and to the left, a little bit both sides. And then come back to the center. Keep your right knee in, extend left leg out. We're going to take some really gentle supine twists. Draw your right leg across your body. Adjust shoulders as you need. Send your gaze over to the right if it's comfortable on your neck. On an exhale, take your head and knee back to center. Pull left knee in, extend right leg out. And then draw your left knee across your body, twist the opposite direction, making any adjustments that you need. Look out beyond your left hand. And then on an exhale, take head and knee back to center again. Bend both knees, place your feet into the mat. We're going to take just a little bit of a bridge flow to start our bodies moving. So arms alongside body, palms down. Press through feet, inhale, lift up your hips, reach your arms up and back, backs of palms, maybe tap the mat. Exhale, roll your spine back down, bring your hands back down, tap down as your hips drop again. Inhale, lift up, lots of space, feel free to lift up your knees, just keep drawing your tailbone down, press through your shoulders as well. Exhale, roll it all the way down, your heels might come down last. 2 more times like that to your own breath. Find softness where you can. Then take your hands to the backs of your thighs and then up and down the length of your spine. We're going to come to a seated position. If it feels better to roll to one side, if that doesn't feel good on your back, then try that. Come to Sukhasana, so one ankle in front of the other, hands on your knees. We're going to take some hip mobility movements, and then we're going to grow larger. So on an inhale, shift your shoulders to the right, lean forward, shoulders on your back. Continue to left, and then on the exhale, round your back, let cat lift down towards your belly or your ankles. Inhale, carries you around that same direction. Exhale, take it back. One more time like that. Inhales forward. And exhale back. And then we're going to take 3 in the opposite circle. Inhale, carries you forward, lead with your shoulders, and your shoulders reach away from you. Exhale, shrug them away. All right, and then come right back up to seated. We're gonna take some seated cow and cat here. So just making a sagittal plane movement, so moving front and back. So inhale, swing your heart forward, gaze up. Exhale, lean back. Maybe make it really exaggerated, even your knees drop. Inhale, swing it forward. Just cracking. Exhale, take it back. One more time like that. And then this time, on an inhale, reach your arms out and up. Exhale, lean back, modified boat. Cross ankles, lift up. Inhale, carries you forward. Exhale, fist by hips, lean back, modified boat. Option to come up onto your shins if you would like. And exhale, take it back. Twice more like that. And then once you come back to that boat pose, we're gonna stay right here, uncross ankles, arms alongside your body. You can take your hands to your thighs, tap your feet down. And if you're staying with me, we're also gonna take this a little bit further, and we're gonna do some half boat lifts, so some Ardha Navasana. So inhale, lean back, extend your legs, look towards your toes, keep your shoulders lifted. Exhale, draw in, pull your knees in real tight. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, pull in. Can you keep your shins parallel to the floor? Keep moving. Keep moving your breath, most importantly. And after that final time that you lift up, place your feet down to the mat, wrap your hands around your shins, drop your head. Feel the stretch through the back of your neck. Then lift up your head, roll over onto your hands and knees to a tabletop pose. We're going to take 3 rounds of cow and cat here. So fingertips spread wide. Inhale, drop belly, lift up hips and heart, gaze up. Exhale, press through hands and knees. Wrap your inner elbows toward the front. Inhale, slither your heart forward, cow. Exhale, press up through cat. Once more like this. And then when you come into your cat pose, keeping your shins parallel, shift your hips back to your heels. We're going to take a flow, cow and cat. Inhale, rise to your knees, lift up. Exhale, bow, modified child's pose. Inhale, carry your heart forward to a cow pose. Your belly is down, gaze up. Exhale, press up through cat, send your hips back to heels. Again, rise to your knees, maybe palms press through a slight back bend. Exhale, modified child's pose. Inhale, carry it forward, belly down. Exhale, press up through cat. One more time like that. Shift your hips back. Inhale, rise to knees. Exhale, bow. Slither heart forward, cow. Exhale, press through your cat. And then simply come back to your neutral position. Press more weight to your left palm. Peel your right fingertips up. Look up towards your right thumb. Stay right here for a couple breaths. Keep pressing through your left hand. Wrap your inner left elbow forward. Find this really deep stretch. You might even feel it through your hips or the side of your body. On your next exhale, you're going to thread needle. Take your right arm underneath the left. Come onto right shoulder, right ear. You got the earrings, they might get in the way. You're going to keep your left hand where it is, unless you would like to change it. You can walk your hand out in front of you. Come up onto spider fingers. Or if you'd like a slightly different stretch, you're going to tiptoe your fingers over to the right corner of your yoga mat. Continue to wrap your inner elbow up toward the ceiling. If you've taken that arm extension, start to walk your left hand back to where it began. Press through your left palm. Inhale, unfurl, right fingertips come up. You're going to stay here for a full cycle of breath. Exhale, right hand comes down. 1 round of cow and cat to cleanse between sides. And then come back to your neutral pose. More weight to right palm, left fingertips lift up. Again, we're going to be here for a couple breaths. Wrap your inner right elbow forward. Reach up through left fingertips. If it's comfortable, look up towards your left thumb. Press so much through your right hand that your left fingertips lift up more. And then on an exhale, thread the needle, left arm underneath. Come onto your left shoulder, your left ear. If you'd like to take that extension, your right arm wiggles up. Wrap your inner elbow up, come up onto spider fingers, form activity. And then if you want to take it even further, you're going to wiggle that right hand across toward the corner of your mat. Continue to press down through fingers. Release your left fingers. And if you took that arm extension, start to walk your right hand back until your palm is below your elbow. Then press through your right hand, left fingertips come up. Stay here for 1 full cycle of breath in this full expansion. Exhale, left hand comes down. 1 round of cow and cat. And then tuck your toes. Send your hips back. Come to your first downward facing dog of this class. Maybe of today, maybe of the week. Give yourself space. Reach your inner thighs behind you. Wrap your inner elbows forward. Spread your fingertips wide so you can share the weight of your body in your hands and your feet. Bending your knees is totally fine. Lift up onto your toes and then pivot both heels over to the right. Press your chest back towards your left thigh. Left shoulder is dropped. Inhale, take it back to center. Pivot to the opposite side. Press your belly and your chest back to your right thigh. And then come back to that downward facing dog. On an inhale, rise to your toes, flow to the top of a plank pose. Notice your distance between hands. If you need to make any adjustments, please do that. On an exhale, chin the chest, puff up your back, roll up and back to downward facing dog. We'll do that twice more with our breath.
Inhale, rise to toes. Roll to the top of a plank pose. Full inhale. Exhale, chin to chest, lift it up and back. Once more like that. Inhale, rise up. Take it forward. Exhale. Then bend your knees, look towards the top of your mat, and then heel toe your way up to the top. Notice how high you have to lift your hips in order to do that. And then come to a ragdoll pose, front of mat, bent knees. Hands to elbows if that is comfortable for you. If you want to have security and hands on the mat, then do what's best. Find a little bit of movement if you'd like, shrugging shoulders, maybe a sway. And then if you've taken any of those binds, release your hands down to the mat. On an inhale, lift up halfway, fingertips to mat or shins or thighs. Look forward, exhale, chest to thighs, take it all the way down. Twice more like that. Inhale, wave your spine long, press your feet down and away from you. You might feel it through your hips. Exhale, fold, keep that activity through your hips. Nice. Again, inhale, halfway lift, press through feet. Find resistance with fingertips. Exhale, fold. Take your hands to your hips. Send your elbows up toward the ceiling. Look forward, inhale, come all the way up to standing, press through your feet. Exhale, arms alongside your body for Tadasana. 3 breaths beginning now. I'm going to flow through a sun salutation A. On an inhale, reach your arms up, gaze up. Upward prayer. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Take it all the way forward, bent knees if you would like, hands drop. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana, look forward. Exhale, fold, step to the top of a plank pose, and then on an exhale with knees up or down, lower all the way to your belly onto your mat, elbows are pointed straight up, untuck toes. Inhale, cobra pose, reach your arms back, we're gonna stay here for just a couple breaths. Roll your shoulders back and away from you, drag your hands alongside the mat, press down to the tops of your feet. And you might even feel like your knees are reaching away from the mat, maybe they do. Exhale, release it back. Press back, hips back, and then tuck your toes back to downward facing dog. 3 breaths. And then bend your knees, look towards the top of your mat, and on an exhale, travel to the top of your mat for a forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift, press your fingertips against something, exhale, fold. Press through your feet, reverse swan dive. Reach arms out and up, or take your hands to your hips. And then on an exhale, hands to your heart center. Arms alongside your body. Toes together, heels slightly apart. We'll take a sun salutation, B. Inhale, sit low, scoop your arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, offer your heart. Exhale, fold to honor yourself. Step back to the top of a plank pose. On an exhale, lower to or towards your mat, elbows still grazing toward your ribcage. Untuck your toes for a back bend. Whether it's a cobra, you come to an upward facing dog. On an exhale, lift hips up and back, downward facing dog. Place your right foot between your hands for right thumb. Pivot on the ball of your back foot so you angle it out. Inhale, warrior 1, 3 breaths. Right hip draws back, press to the outer edge of your left foot. At the end of your 3rd exhale, hands tap down, put it onto the ball of your back foot. Step right foot back to meet left. Vinyasa if you would like, or press back to downward facing dog. Exhale, you lower. Untuck toes, inhale for a back bend. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward. Pivot on the ball of your back foot so you can angle it down. Lift all the way up for your warrior 1, sit low. Pull your floating ribs in. 3 breaths. At the end of your 3rd exhale, pivot the heel back up, hands come down. Step left foot back to meet right, plank pose, vinyasa if you would like. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, urdhva mukha svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, 5 breaths. Find that same downward facing dog from the very beginning of class. Pressing away from the mat with your hands. And then at the end of that fifth exhale, bend your knees, look towards the top of your mat, step or hop to the top. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, toes together, just slightly apart. Fierce pose of gomukhasana, sit low, arms lift. Come to standing, hands to heart, arms alongside your body. Reset. Press down to your feet, lift up to your kneecaps, shrug your shoulders away from you. Find the longest, tallest that you can possibly be. Every exhale, you grow a little more through the crown of your head, you press down through your feet. Can you really connect with the mat through your feet? Big toe mound, little toe mound, center of your heel. Notice if you sway up from side to side, maybe even accentuate that. Split the difference in the center, rock a little front and back. Find the center once again. On an inhale, lift your arms out and up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold, take it all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, simply step back to a downward facing dog. If you feel like you need a vinyasa, there's time you can do that. Simply breathe here. On your next inhale, right leg lifts up toward the ceiling. Bend your knee, open up through your hips. Keep your heel drop down towards your bum. Keep your right shoulder drop down toward the mat as well. Re-straighten that right leg. On an exhale, take your knee to your nose. Place your foot between your hands towards your right thumb. Once again, weight to left palm, peel your fingertips up. So similar to the beginning of class before we took the thread the needle. On your next exhale, take your right hand back down to the mat. We're going to take some hip dips here. So if you like using blocks, you can have two on either side. You can have one in front of your front foot, or you don't have to use any. Just come up onto spider fingers. These are all options. So on an inhale, you're going to drop your hips, reach your heart forward, back knee bends, look up. Exhale, lift hips up and back. It's like a modified pyramid. Straighter front leg, reach your chin toward your chin. Inhale, drop your hips, reach your heart forward, find that cobra. Exhale, up and back, right hip draws back. Third time like that. Once you come back to that modified pyramid, lift up halfway, pull your right toes towards your face, right hip draws back, and then reach your chest forward. You might not go down as far, it is fine. And then release the right foot down, rebend into the front knee. Drop your left knee down to the mat, and we're gonna take a quad stretch here. So I'm gonna take my left hand a little bit wider than underneath my shoulder for a little space, pulling left heel up toward me. I'm gonna reach my right arm back. If I can, I'm gonna grasp my foot, send my hips back, send my hips, touch my heel, and then rebend. Press to the left hand, start to twist open toward the right. See if you can find Tadasana here so you're not taking a huge bend in your back. On your next exhale, release the foot if you've taken that. Hand comes down, pop up your back knee, step your right foot back to meet your left. Vinyasa only if you want it. We'll meet in downward facing dog. On your next inhale, left leg up and back, bend your knee, open up through your hips, keep your left shoulder dropped. Drop your heel towards your bum, lots of stretch, lots of space. Make sure your right heel is still hidden behind your toes. Inhale, re-straighten the leg, tripod. Exhale, pull your knee to your nose and then place your foot between your hands towards your left thumb. If you use blocks on one side, then I encourage you to do the same on this side. We seek equality. We don't always get there, but we're gonna do the best we can. Inhale, drop your hips, reach your heart forward, gaze up. Exhale, back to that modified pyramid, left hip draws back, reach your chin for your shin. Inhale, drop your hips. Your right heel is always gonna stay lifted here. Exhale, take it back. Third time like that. Find a bit of a flow. Okay, and then once you come back to that modified pyramid, you're gonna lift up halfway. Flex your left toes towards your face, keep that left hip drawing back. And then descend your heart. Might not go as far, it's fine. All right, release the foot down to the mat, rebend into the front knee, drop your right foot down. I'm gonna take that quad stretch again. So my right hand is gonna go out to the side, give myself a little bit of space, gonna find some kindness. Bending my right heel up toward my bum, cycle my right arm up and around, so my thumb is up, I can grasp my foot, so I'm gonna shift my hips back, make a little bit of connection, and then I'm going to re-bend. And I'm gonna look for an additional stretch here, this is optional. Stacking left shoulder over right, not allowing my back to bow, rather knitting in and finding Tadasana through my spine, even here. All right, release that foot. If you've taken it, take your hand back down to the mat. Tuck back toes, lift up back knee. Step back to top of plank pose. Vinyasa, if you would like to take it, we will meet in downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Full breath out. On your next inhale, right leg up and back. On an exhale, pull your knee to your nose and then place your foot between your hands towards your right thumb. So we talked about doing a warrior 3 in a minute. If you want to take your block or whatever you're using in place of a block, place it toward the front of your mat. Now's a good time just to make that placement. Hover your fingertips away from the mat. Lift your arms up. Bend both knees, so your back knee's even bent. Make sure you've got your shoulders over your hips and then start to re-straighten. Yes. Breathe here. Inhale, lift up slightly. On an exhale, you're going to take it forward to that warrior 3. So you can keep your arms lifted or place hands down to the block. Your left leg will lift. Lift up to the inside of your left thigh. Shoulder blades on your back, even if your arms are reaching out in front of you. All right, breath in, prepare. On an exhale, stand all the way back to that high lunge. Very nice. Breath in, prepare here. Exhale, you're going to take cactus arms. Maybe lean back, arc your heart up. Take your arms back up toward the ceiling. Breath in, prepare, lift up. Exhale, swim it forward. Warrior 3, hands down or up. Keep lifting up through your inner left thigh. Breath in, prepare. Exhale, stand all the way back to that high lunge. Inhale, prepare once again. Exhale, open heart, cactus. Lift your arms right back up. And then on an exhale, warrior 2, open to alongside your mat. Make sure your left toes are ever so slightly pointed in. Maybe your ankles cracked like mine. Shrug your shoulders back. Even press your palms up. So just pull your hands up towards the ceiling. Feel this stretch across your chest. And then simply switch your hand position so your palms are down. Sit a little bit lower. Breathe. Can you see your big right toe? If not, make some adjustments. Straighten the front leg, lift up your arms. Exhale, re-enter warrior 2. Again, inhale, lift up, straighten arms. Exhale, re-enter warrior 2. Third time like that. Lots of strength through the back leg. Exhale, take it down. Just breathe. Inhale, prepare. On an exhale, you're going to cartwheel toward the front of the mat. So you are in a low lunge. Place more weight to your left palm. Heel right fingertips up. Low lunge twist. Exhale, take your right hand down to the mat. Step right foot back to meet left. Option for Vinyasa or simply go back to down dog. When you're ready, on an inhale, left leg lifts up and back. On an exhale, pull your knee to your nose, then place your foot between your hands towards your left thumb. Hover your fingertips away from the mat, and then lift all the way up. High crescent lunge, first time on the side. So again, bend both knees, including the back leg. Shoulders over hips. Find this placement, then begin to re-straighten the leg. Yes. Extend arms up if they came down. Just as before, we're going to flow from here to the warrior 3 pose with or without block. So get out of your own way. Inhale, lift up slightly. Exhale, shift your weight forward. Warrior three, lift up to the inside of your right thigh. Bend through the front knee, lift up, back to this, to your high lunge. Inhale, prepare, exhale, open your heart, cactus arms. Inhale, lift up, get out of your own way. Exhale, shift it forward. Warrior three, keep your leg lifted. Then stand all the way back. Inhale, prepare here. Exhale, open heart. I don't know if we did 3 times on the first side. We're doing 3 times here. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, shift it forward. Warrior three. Right leg is lifted. Stand all the way back on an exhale. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, open heart. Cactus arms. Inhale, come back to your high lunge. Exhale, warrior three. Take your time getting there. There's no rush. There's only now anyway. You get wherever you go, whenever you get where you're going. Sit low. Again, if you'd like to take that same kind of alignment, flip up your palms, make sure that your biceps are shining up, your inner elbows are shining up, and then simply flip your hands down. So it's the top of your wrist pointing up toward the ceiling. Only difference. Knit your floating ribs in. Maybe you can find you sit lower. Inhale, straighten the leg, lift arms up, maybe even look up. Exhale, re-enter warrior two. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, warrior two. Third time your breath. Then we're going to sit here for several breaths. Just as you did at the beginning of class, when you started to take an inventory, just allow yourself to witness without attaching. What's going on? Then when you are ready, inhale to prepare, exhale, cartwheel towards the front of the mat, pivot onto the ball of your back foot. You're in a low lunge. More weight to right palm, peel left fingertips up toward the ceiling, low lunge twist. Keep spiking up the back heel. Exhale, left hand comes down. Step left foot back to meet right. Vinyasa, if you would like it, we will meet in downward facing dog. Three breaths and down dog. And at the end of that third exhale, knees to mat, toes to touch, hips to heels, child's pose, unless this posture is not restful for you, and then I invite you to take another. So into your breath. Is there some part of your physicality that you can soften? Maybe your fingers are clenched. Maybe you're holding onto your hips. Perhaps you're doing something with your jaw. On your exhales, just let it go, release it. The next 5 breaths are yours. You can do whatever you'd like. You can rest. You can work on some posture, drink some water. Maybe you've got coffee. After those 5 breaths, we'll meet in downward facing dog. Your first of 5 breaths begins now. About now, you might be coming upon that 5th exhale. If you need more time, take it, of course. And then you will meet us back in downward facing dog. I will begin my path back there as well. Strengthening breath in, cleansing breath out. Drawing in all that you need, and then releasing it. On your next inhalation, right leg comes up and back. On an exhale, place your foot between your hands towards your right thumb. We're going to move to pyramid pose. So step your left foot in about a quarter of the way, angle it down at about 45-degree angle. Again, if you like blocks, bring them in, any height will do, and if you just got one or one hook, you can place it in front of your right foot. It all works. So inhale, lift up halfway. As you do, say right thumb to your right hip crease, and then pull your leg back. Reach your heart forward, and then on an exhale, you're gonna start to reach your chin towards your shin. Press down through both feet. Squeeze your right heel like it's coming towards you, your left heel coming towards the other. Press to the outer edge of your left foot. Can you use your core strength to help bring you further? Can you let go of what's going on in your jaw, your neck? Soften in. Simply breathe. Make small adjustments as you find necessary. Are your eyes tight? Soften the muscles around them. Inhale, lift up halfway. We're gonna do a revolved triangle because it's everyone's favorite, including me. So your left hand, inside your foot, top of your foot, outside, or use a block. Any of those places except for on top of your foot because that would be really uncomfortable. Left hand to left block. Again, right hand to right hip. Reach your hip back, reach your heart forward. Press to the left hand, kind of feel like you were in warrior 3 here, and then add a twist. Point your right elbow up, press to your left hand, and so you're stacking right shoulder over left. Keep pressing through both feet. This is imperative. If you would like, unfurl your right fingertips toward the ceiling. If you kind of like sling them up, it sometimes can hurt your shoulder, so be very careful in the way that you enter. Keep pressing through feet. Press through left hand, reach up the right fingertips. Maybe look up towards right thumb. Breathe. Every inhale, you grow longer. Exhale, you twist. Send your gaze back down to your left hand. Take your right hand back down. Put it onto the ball of your back foot. Take a little bend. Step your left forward to meet your right. Forward fold, ragdoll. Find your sway. Find your stillness. And then when you're ready, inhale, lift up halfway to Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Press through your feet, reach your arms out and up. And then on an exhale, take your hands to your heart center. You can leave them here or bring your arms alongside your body. Simply breathe. Find all the length in your spine that you did when you were doing the revolved triangle. All the space that you found in your first Tadasana of this class. Shift the weight to your left foot, find a little bend to your knees, and then cross your right ankle over your left thigh. You can keep your hands at your heart or take your hands down to your hips. Shift your weight, or your hips back rather, so you can hinge forward. So you've got a stretch going on here through your right hip. If you'd like, you can take your hands down to the block or to the mat. And rather than wrapping your toes around the outside of your foot, if you want, press your foot to the inside of your left upper arm and press your arm in. You're likely going to feel a deeper stretch on the outside of your right hip. Maybe try it out, and if you're like, oh, not for me, then, back up. All right, if you've taken your hands to a block, start to lift your way up. Come up standing, uncross your leg, stand down, de-yogify. Then come back to your Tadasana or Samsiti with hands at heart. Feel free to move to the rhythm of your own breath. We're going to flow back to downward facing dog. I'm also going to provide guidance. On an inhale, arms lift, gaze up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, dive forward. Inhale, offer your heart, halfway lift. Exhale, fold to honor yourself. Step back to the top of plank pose. On an exhale, lower to or toward your mat. Untuck toes, elbows point straight up, back bend, deep breath. Exhale. Make your way back to downward facing dog. When you're ready, inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, place your foot between your hands toward left thumb. Step right foot in about a quarter of the way so we can move to our triangle pose. Bring your blocks in if you use them on the side before. If you were like, oh, I wish I had no blocks, you can do that now. So lift up halfway. Left thumb to left hip. Knock it back. Straighter front leg. And then you're going to start to reach your chin towards your shin. Take your hands down whenever it is appropriate for you. You generally want your wrists below your shoulders. It doesn't always quite work out, especially with props and such, but that's what we're looking for. So you're going to pull your left heel towards your right, right towards the left, but continue to press to the outer edge of your right foot. Your left hip joint continues to reach back. Find lots of length. Just breathe. Simple does not always mean easy. When you're ready, lift up about halfway. We're going to take revolved triangle. So, right hand, or either to the floor or to the block, to a block. Your block in, hand to your foot, hand to the outside of your foot. Again, left hand to your left hip, thumb to the hip crease. Point your elbow up. Reach your chest forward, reach your spine forward to the crown of your head. Right wrist is about below your right shoulder. Again, this might vary depending on your anatomy. Point left elbow up, press through right hand so much that your left shoulder starts to stack. Make sure your left hip is drawing back, keep pressing through both feet. Your legs don't have to be straight. If and when you're ready, left fingertips up toward the ceiling. If you'd like, send your gaze up as well. Breathe. On an exhale, take your hand down. Take the block up to the side if you used it. Little bend to both knees, turn onto the ball of your back heel, so your toes and your heel are in alignment. Step your right foot forward, ragdoll pose. Let it go, get soft. Drop your fingertips down when you're ready. Inhale, halfway lift, offer your heart. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive, come up to standing or take your hands to your hips. Exhale, hands to your heart. Once again, we'll take that standing figure four posture. Shift the weight to your left foot. Wait, is this right? No, other way. Shift the weight to the right. This makes more sense. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Send your hips back, lean forward. Find that straightness through your spine as much as you can. And then if you'd like to take one of those variations that was offered earlier, please do that. You can take your hands down to the block, to the mat. You can also take that version where you press the sole of your left foot into your right upper arm. Find your softness. All right, if you've taken that additional pressure to your foot, release that. Let's come up all the way to standing. Uncross, stand down. Find the movement if you need it. And move back to the top of your mat. Into Tadasana, our hands at heart center, Samasthiti. Allow your eyes to close, or at least your eye gaze to soften. Recognizes what changes have occurred. Neither good nor bad. Inhale, arms lift, shoulders drop behind you. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold, hands drop. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, stand back to top of plank pose. On an exhale, lower to or toward your mat, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, untuck toes, reach your heart forward, take a back bend. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana or Cobra. Exhale, lift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. 3 breaths here. After your third exhale, take your knees to your mat, toes to touch, hips to heels for a child's pose, or find another restful posture. If your arms and shoulders feel fatigued, bring your arms alongside your body, palms up, and let your shoulders drift forward. Take the next 5 breaths for yourself, and we'll meet in downward facing dog. The first of 5 breaths begins now. About now might be the end of your 5th breath. If you need more time, please take it, and we'll begin to transition to downward facing dog. Strengthening breath in, and a cleansing exhale. Next, inhale, right leg up and back. On an exhale, place your foot between your hands toward your right thumb. Pyramid pose, step your left foot in slightly, blocks or not. Inhale, lift up halfway, right hip draws back. Exhale, chin to shin. Once you get to where you're going, 3 breaths. After that third exhale, lift up halfway, revolved triangle. Left hand to the mat or to your block. Take your right fingertips, your right elbow rather, up toward the ceiling, and if you'd like, extend your hand up. 3 breaths once you get to where you're going. At the end of your 3rd breath, take your right hand to your right hip. We're going to move to a revolved half moon pose. Little bend to your right knee, put it onto the ball of your back foot so your toes and heel are in the same line. Lean forward, your left hand comes forward, block or not, it's totally up to you. Shift your way forward, your left leg will lift eventually, it doesn't really matter how much. Find Tadasana through your spine. Keep pointing your right elbow up toward the ceiling, and then if you would like, extend right fingertips up toward the ceiling as well. Press down to everything that's touching the mat, lift up the inside of your left thigh. Breathe. And then on an exhale, right hand comes down. Left foot comes down, ragdoll pose, get soft, 3 breaths. Step back to top of plank pose. And then press up and back to downward facing dog. 3 breaths. At the end of your 3rd exhale, inhale, left leg up and back. On an exhale, lift up high, take your knee to your nose, place your foot between your hands toward left thumb. Pyramid pose, step right foot in. Left hip draws back. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, deepen the posture, 3 breaths once you get to where you're going. At the end of your 3rd exhale, lift up halfway, revolve triangle, with or without block, your hand placed in, right hand comes down. Left elbow points up, find your extension. Once you're there, 3 breaths. At the end of your 3rd exhale, left hand comes down. Bend into the front knee, pivot onto the back, a ball of your back foot. We're going to shift forward for the revolved half moon pose. Right hand is down below your shoulder, with or without block. Left hand to left hip, point your elbow up toward the ceiling. Lean forward, lift up through the inside of your right thigh, lengthen through your left hip, and then if you'd like, left fingertips up toward the ceiling. 3 breaths once you get to where you're going. Then take your left hand down, your right foot down, at least hips width distance, ragdoll pose, 3 breaths. At the end of your third exhale, release your hands down to the mat. This time, inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to hips, elbows point up. Roll your shoulders back. Inhale, come up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center. Reset. Eyes open or closed. When you're ready, you're going to flow back to downward facing dog. Feel free to move to the rhythm of your own breath. I will also provide guidance. Inhale, arms lift, gaze up. Exhale, hinge at hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Stand back to top of plank pose. Exhale, lower to or toward your mat. Untuck toes, back bend. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. 3 breaths. The end of your third exhale, take your knees to your mat, toes together, hips to heels, child's pose, 5 breaths. At the end of your 5th breath, whenever that occurs, start to press your way up to sit onto your knees. Okay. As we talked about earlier, we are going to move into a camel pose. So just to prepare yourself, just have a block nearby if you'd like to use it, or 2. But before we get into our camel pose, we're going to do just a little bit for our upper body. So I'm sitting on my knees because that's very comfortable for me. If that's not comfortable for you, then you might want to find a different position. We're going to do gomukhasana in our arms. So I'm going to start with my right arm up, my hands facing you, and it's going to face me, and then I'm going to pat myself on the back. Left arm out, thumb down. And then I'm going to sweep my hand around so the back of my palm, the back of my hand rather, is on my back. I can either grab my shirt or I can wiggle my hands together until my fingertips touch. So notice here, is your belly jutting out? Knit it in. Point your right elbow up, left elbow down. If you've got grip on fingertips, try to pull your fingertips away from each other through that grip. Be mindful, be kind. If you've got that grip, loosen it just for a moment, then re-engage. Find strength everywhere. Find the softness where you can. Then release your shirt or your fingertips. Unwind the same way you came in. Left hand comes out, then replace your hand. Right hand lifts up. Take it all the way down. Cool. We're going to take the other way. Left arm comes up. And then I'm going to flip my hand so it faces the wall behind me, and I'm going to pat myself on the back. Yes. Right arm comes out. Thumb is down. Then sweep back. Be really mindful of your shoulders. Those of us with shoulder injuries, we know. Grasp your shirt. Might not be the same on the side. Or reach your fingertips toward each other. Again, floating ribs are knitted in. You're finding Tadasana through your spine. Even here, point left elbow up, right elbow down. If you've got that finger grip, whatever grip you've got, soften, release it, and then re-engage. Okay, softly, softly, release whatever tension you've got, rewind, right arm comes out, ooh, replace it, left arm comes up, come all the way around. Several times, take shoulder circles to the back, and then to forward. Cool. Okay, we're gonna take our camel pose. So there's a couple ways to get into this pose. You're going to first start on your knees. If you know that you like blocks and you use those, you're gonna place them on the outsides of your heels. There's 3 heights to your block. So you can do those in any way you want, or if you're like, no, I've done this before. I don't like a block. I don't use a block. That's simple. So a couple ways to do this posture. We're gonna start the same way. So take your hands behind you. I like my fingertips pointed down. When my fingertips are pointed up, I notice that there's like an arc that's uncomfortable for me. So for me, it's like, put my hands in my pockets. Shrug my shoulders up and back like we just did. I'm going to engage my belly. I'm going to find activity here. So engaging my belly, I'm pulling my hip tips up to my ribs. I'm engaging my core. I can feel my bum become engaged here as well. So like I said, there's a couple ways to do this. In one way, you lift up your shoulders, keep your hips over your knees as best you can. You find the arc in your upper back and you lean back. When you're ready, you place your hands down toward the blocks or down towards your heels. If this automatically makes you feel uncomfortable, then maybe you try it the other way. Start the same, shoulders back, engage, feel belly strong. And then, keeping this flatter plane, this straighter plane, lean back, hands come down to your blocks or your heels, then shrug your shoulders back, come into your deeper back bend. If you ever want to come out of it, you reverse the way you came, take your hands to your hips, come up, sit back onto your heels, just rest for a moment, maybe place your hands on your thighs. And we're gonna give it a go one more time. If you tried one way and you're like, I'd like to try the other, then please try another one. If you want to try the same way because it works for you, then find a way that works for you. Come up onto your knees. Also, if you're like somewhere in between blocks and no, you can always tuck your toes and then your heels have got like a bit of lift. You also have a stretch through the fronts and backs of your feet. Can also be very nice. Hands to your low back. Fingertips down. Shrug shoulders back. Point elbows back. Engage your bum. Engage your core. Find your strength. Your option. Whether you lift up and over, shrug, or you keep more Tadasana in your spine and then lean back. Press the tops of your feet. Take your hands down where they go. Then reach your tailbone for the insides or the backs of your knees. Shrug your shoulders back. Engagement to your bum. Breathe. And then we take the reverse tap. You're going to lift your head up. Engage your core. Hands to the back of your body. Lift up. Onto your knees. Hands to your thighs. First, just breathe here. Come over onto your hands and knees for a tabletop position. Inhale, drop your belly, lift up your hips and heart. Cow pose. Exhale, press up through your back, look back towards your knees or your belly, cat. Inhale, take it forward for your cow. Exhale, press up through your cat. And then toes together, send your hips back to your heels for a child's pose. Drop your forehead. If your forehead doesn't touch the mat, then stack your fists in a little tower so your forehead can rest on something. Lift up enough so that you can slither on your belly all the way like a pancake, and then you're just gonna flip over onto your back. We're gonna take that same bridge flow that we began at the beginning of this class. So bend your knees, place your feet into the mat, arms alongside your body. Make sure that you can just about tickle the backs of your heels. Press through feet, lift up hips on an inhale, reach your arms up and back, maybe lift up your heels if you'd like. Exhale, roll it all the way back down. Twice more your own breath. After that final time, gently draw your knees in towards your chest, rock a little from side to side. If taking a happy baby here is nice for you, then take a happy baby. Keep your right knee and extend your left leg beyond you. Let it rest onto the mat. We'll take a supine twist as we did at the beginning of class as well. Draw your right knee across your body. Right arm comes out to the side to provide you with a counterbalance. Send your gaze to the right if it is comfortable. Allow everything to soften. On an exhale, take your head and knee back to center. Realign and pull left knee in. Right leg comes out. And then twist to the opposite way. You draw your knee across your body. Left arm comes out. And if comfortable, send your gaze out to the left as well. Once again, when ready on an exhale, head and knee back to center. Pull both knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a little bit of an embrace. Maybe rock a little from side to side. Also, you can bring your forehead up towards your knees if you like. And then release. The final posture of this class is going to be Shavasana. If you prefer to take something like legs up the wall, then simply adjust your space, adjust your body so that you can do that. You'll shift one hip against the wall and then swing both legs up toward the ceiling. Your legs don't have to be fully straight. In fact, for Shavasana version of that, you might want to have a little bit of bend. Another option is to simply take a traditional Shavasana lying on your back. Make all the adjustments that you need. Clothing adjustments, temperature, body movements, whatever you need to do. And then mimicking what happened at the beginning of our class today, starting with routing the soles of your feet, the base of your body. You're going to scan all the way up, the crown of your head, walking let go. And then the reverse half. Let your feet get soft, your ankles relaxed, calves and your shins, kneecaps drop, heavy thighs, heavy pelvis, soft belly, soft breath. Shoulders released back, arms are relaxed, wrists, palms of hands and backs of hands, the back of your neck, the front of your neck. Your jaw drops, your tongue drops from the roof of your mouth. Created hollow cheeks, your eyes are closed, heavy eyelids, heavy eyes, and a smooth forehead.
Breathe life back to your dedication. And inhale. Excuse me. On every exhale, release that doesn't support your dedication. Acknowledge your physical body once again, starting with your extremities. And welcome movement into your body once again. Allowing those movements to become larger and larger and larger. If you're taking legs up wall, do so carefully, and carefully also make your way down so that you can find yourself on your side. Take your time getting there. There's no rush. And then when you're ready with your eyes closed, or at least a soft gaze, make your way to a seated posture of your choice for brief reflection and meditation on this practice. And thank you so much for being a part of this community, for doing this work, for showing up for yourself, for showing up for others. Bring your palms to your heart center, thumbs to sternum. I'm going to sing the sound of Om one time. If you'd like to sing along, please do. If you'd like to remain silent and listen, please do that. We'll first take a breath in together. And exhale. Breathe in to sing. On an inhale, reach your arms out and up, palms press above your head, and on an exhale, take your thumbs to the space between your eyebrows for clarity of thought, to your lips for clarity of speech, and return to your heart for clarity of action. Bow your head to your heart. In gratitude, in honor, and in respect for yourself, for each other. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me and helping me to deepen my own. In the name of the highest good, namaste. All right, everybody's unmuted. Thank you guys so much.